Straight to our top focus here on your story. It's a toxic Christmas for people in India's national capital, Delhi, and the surrounding national capital region. People in Delhi woke up to a cold, foggy Christmas morning with visibility dropping to 50 meters, affecting flight schedules and causing cancellation of over 300 trains. All departures at the Indira Gandhi International Airport in Delhi were suspended for over an hour as dense fog delayed about 45 flights. The air quality in the region has also remained severe for the fourth consecutive day as high humidity, low wind speed and a drop in mercury prevented the dispersal of particulate matters. 32 areas in the Delhi and National Capital Region recorded severe air quality. Meanwhile, China's capital Beijing had an air quality index or AQI of 184, which is unhealthy air. Contrast that to the air quality in some areas in Delhi, which was recorded at beyond 400. The air quality index of the national capital was 423 in the hazardous zone, as the minimum temperature was recorded at 5.6 degrees Celsius, 2 notches below the season's average. Experts advised against all physical activities outdoors and prescribed the use of N95 or P100 respirators when stepping out. And now being joined live here on your story by Mr. Vimlendu Jha, environmentalist. He's joining us live from Delhi. Vimlendu, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us. We usually have this discussion in India after Diwali, the day after Diwali, but the air quality on Christmas Day is as bad as a day after Diwali.
Absolutely right. So, the situation last couple of days has been extremely severe. Last 4 days, the air quality index in several areas of Delhi have been around 600, 700, sometimes crossing 800. The average has been somewhere around 400, which is almost hazardous. I just want to remind all our viewers that, imagine only just 20 days ago, there was air quality index of 200 in Stanford University and in that area, and the entire area was actually shut down. And here we are staring at an air quality index of beyond 400 hazardous levels, and we haven't really heard any form of concrete action from our government. The hospitals are reporting that there are more and more people, more and more children and elderly reporting with respiratory problems. We have a public health crisis staring at us. Year after year, we reach at this juncture. But there's nothing concrete that we come up with. The government thinks of, as in that most the government comes up with a circular, says that the industries will be shut down for a few days here and there, with sprinkled water. But that's not called a measure. That's not called an actual action plan for clean air.
Vimlendu, if I were to ask you, there's always this talk of using the odd-even scheme as a sort of a quick fix measure to sort of bring it down from, bringing down the air quality index levels. But is that something that's required when temperatures are dipping as well? Because that is a natural phenomenon that seems to add to the already problematic air quality in the region.
So the thing is that when temperatures are falling or because of the weather condition, the pollution is getting trapped. The weather is not causing the pollution. Pollution is caused by Delhi, the citizenry, and the region in that sense. Odd even, it really helps a little. I support odd even in some ways, but I have a very, very strong argument for the government that it cannot be your only measure, because it's very, very convenient for the government to really come up with a plan and say the ration of transport, but not do anything throughout the year. So when your air quality index reaches this high, this terrible level, is when you come up with odd even, which is not called governance, which is called an emergency measure. Emergency measure is not what is called good governance at all. It's called misplaced understanding of governance. You want to create inconvenience for people when you don't want people to take their cars. Do you actually have public transport? We have a deficit of around 7,000 buses in Delhi. So you don't have a public transport. You're advising people not to step out to work. Poorest of the poor people can't afford to really stay indoors. They have to go out and work. You're asking people to wear a mask. But when, everything that the government was supposed to be doing, be it the central government or the local government, they have completely failed. In fact, they have not even tried. If they would have really thought about these things, imagine year after year we've been talking about public transport and they get into a blame game, blaming each other. Right now, imagine there's no stubble burning, but still we have a situation.
Yes.
We have a situation as bad as stubble burning.
Yes.
We have a situation as bad as the firecrackers in Diwali, because the round-the-year problem, the system problem of air quality that we have in Delhi is not being addressed by our respective governments at all. We only have knee-jerk reactions and circulars coming from our dispensation.
Vimlendu Jha, they are putting into perspective. Vimlendu, thank you so much for taking time out. Let's just hope that the year 2019 ushers in a better, more systematic way of fighting air pollution in India and across the world. Meanwhile, it's not a Merry Christmas in China. The Xi Jinping-led Communist Party of China has cracked down on Christmas celebrations across the country. The crackdown is seen as a part of the Communist Party's emphasis on tradition and traditional Chinese culture and the suppression of other religions. Christmas decorations have been banned in at least 4 cities and a county. In fact, in China's eastern city of Nanyang, all the Christmas trees, lights and decorations were removed from a 27-story building within 24 hours. This happened after a bunch of government officials visited the building complex. Christmas is celebrated in China more as a shopping festival than anything else. Huge trees are installed in shopping malls in Shanghai and Beijing. China's crackdown on Christmas celebrations, however, is not unprecedented. There was a similar anti-Christmas outbreak in the years 2014 and 2017. As well, the latest crackdown comes at the backdrop of the government's clampdown on a whole host of churches across China. Thousands of Christians across China, however, continue to celebrate Christmas despite these developments. China has 12 million Catholics. They've been split in an underground church that swears loyalty to the Vatican and the state-supervised Catholic Patriotic Association of China. Shifting focus back to India and to an important story that we're putting the focus on tonight on Your Story. Schools in the city of Bengaluru have started issuing warnings to parents to watch out for signs of gaming addiction in their children after the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences announced that it was receiving an alarming number of PUBG addiction cases. World is One's Nishchita Virendra brings us this report from India's IT capital. Take a look.
The shut clinic at the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences in Bengaluru has been receiving a steady stream of gaming addict patients over the last few years. But in the last 1 year, close to 120 cases of PUBG game addiction cases alone have been reported. 4 to 5 cases of adolescents hooked onto the online game are reported on a weekly basis at the clinic that treats technology addiction.
In the last 1 year, we have seen around 100 to 120 cases total of PUBG. When it comes to severity, it varies from mild to moderate to severe. Some people are just playing it, but they are able to go to school, study, etc. Some people are only playing it for more than 6 to 7 hours, but they are able to study. And some people are there who are playing it continuously for more than 10 to 12 hours. So they miss out on school, academics, physical activities, etc. So according to how their life is getting affected, we decide how much severity it is as of now. It seems that it is quite severe. Even in those 3 to 4 cases that they come, most of them are not going to school. They are not taking bath. They are not eating properly, sleeping properly. Most of these cases belong in that category. So that way it is pretty severe.
The alarm bells are ringing in the city's schools. Rated by Google as the most popular game of 2018, PUBG is a multiplayer game that lets the users team up with their friends from different locations. Schools in Bengaluru have started giving out a word of caution to parents on the number of hours that children spend on the game.
Taking a lot of informal steps, because the moment we take a formal step, it spreads to other children. We need to make sure we attack the target. And I think it's only very few because of the age group, mainly who are 15, 16 or more. And we have been doing subtly as well as directly. We talk to the parents how to deal with this. We also watch the children We influence them through our teachers or counselors in public meetings, and when the parents meet the teachers, we do a lot like that.
One of the top reasons for youngsters to opt for the online game is its easy accessibility. The game that is available in the free-to-play variant takes the user around 40 minutes to complete one game. However, users end up spending several hours on the game, forgetting other aspects of their life like eating, sleeping and studying.
I'm a father of a college-going son who's 16 years. Now I have to cope up with him on all those things. I've just been catching up. So best way for them is to keep them busy. So now he's gone for the football. So once he comes, he's tired. Then evenings make them study. Then the tuitions, all those, keep them busy with all those things. The moment you give them the mobile freedom, then this problem comes. So there you have to restrict them.
The alarming rise in the number of PUBG addiction cases has sent the warning bells ringing in Bengaluru schools. Now parents and school associations are demanding a mechanism that will restrict the number of hours of usage even when the user manages to escape parental control. In Bengaluru with video journalist Chandan, Nishchita Virendra, Wion, World is One.
Now the game PUBG has taken the gaming sector by a storm, with over 100 million downloads in India and over 200 million downloads worldwide. Our correspondent Ishan Wani now takes you to a PUBG cafe in Srinagar.
Winner winner chicken dinner is a phrase every PUBG fan knows. And now this chicken dinner is being served for real in Kashmir. A group of friends decided to open a cafe dedicated to the game, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The popular mobile game has become an instant hit since it was launched in March this year. The cafe is decorated with camouflage clothes, war room tables, and even the pans have been specifically designed based on the game. Walls have been covered with the images and maps of PUBG. Once you enter the cafe, these guns, helmets and jackets welcome you. These PUBG fanboys who played the game day in and day out decided to move the setting out of their cell phones and into reality. They say it has been an instant hit in the valley.
एक दिन पबजी खेल रहे थे तो हमें आइडिया आया क्यों ना हम भी एक कश्मीर में अपने ओन वैली में हम एक पबजी थीम्ड कैफे खोले तो हमने डिसाइड करा कि हम एक पबजी थीम कैफे खोलेंगे तो इसके लिए हमें स्ट्रगल बहुत करना पड़ा.
While the gamers were excited with the idea, their families not so much. But the idea, which looked bizarre, is now a success story in a place where frequent shutdowns and curfew can mean disaster for business. But these friends were determined. They set up this cafe in just 3 months and it attracts kids and adults alike.
मैं पिछले 1 साल से खेल रहा हूँ तो ये गेम, लेकिन आज मैंने यहाँ सुना है कि इधर राजबाग में ये पबजी स्पेशल का नाम एक रेस्टोरेंट खुला है और जब मैंने सुना तो मैं आज यहाँ आया हूँ तो मैंने बहुत अच्छा देखा है मैंने अंदर.
While the cafe is one of a kind in India, similar cafes based on the game have opened up in several parts of the world, including China. And the game, which has been named the best game of 2018, is gaining more popularity through such cafes.
Who would have thought that a mobile phone-based game would become so popular that people will start opening up theme-based cafes even in Kashmir? These 3 friends have come together and opened a PUBG cafe where people can enjoy their meal wearing these bulletproof jackets and helmets. With camera person Feroz Ishanwani for Wion, World is One.